I just gotta find somebody to do the TIG welding for me because I am not. I just gotta find. Alright guys, welcome back to the Rev Too Late Racing channel. Today we finally got the transmission jack from Hooker, and after 2 months of waiting, it finally shipped. So we're gonna see if that actually fits in this car like they say it does. I've heard from multiple sources that they don't fit that great and they're kind of hard to get in and out of the car. So we're gonna install that today and see if that is actually true. If it is, then I'm just gonna fabricate my own with a pipe and a couple plates on the edge and attach that to the frame, and we'll just rock one of those. I'm also gonna put this MagnaFuel 750 in the fuel cell. You guys gotta cut a hole right here and then mount that in there. I already got the mounts and the bolts and everything to do it with. And then we're gonna cut the back of my trunk a little bit to fit that in there, so then those drain fittings will come out the bottom so I can drain it anytime I want. I gotta take the stock fuel tank out here to get that out of the way. But for now, we're gonna put this transmission up in there, get it all bolted up, and then we'll put that mount in there. All right guys, after spending entirely too much time on this transmission mount, I ended up having to weld the nuts on the back side of this flange because all these bolts were loose. So where I'd have to take the nut off the back side and the bolts out the top, and then like slowly pull it down every time. So I just made it really easy and welded all 4 nuts, all 4 nuts on the top side of each side of these flanges. So all I gotta do is pull the bolts out, because there's 2 bolts that go up through here on each side, and then those 2 bolts, and then this bolt is actually just threaded in on that top plate. But after getting all that done, this thing is in there nice and I really like it. So I'm gonna tighten this down and the transmission mount will be good. All I gotta do is get my shifter cable and all that stuff situated right. So now that's finally done, I'm gonna get up in there, I'm gonna put the fuel cell in there, get that all tightened down, and get my fittings going for my fuel lines all the way underneath the car. Get my fuel filter, all the crazy amount of fittings that I got to get it up to the engine and get it all plumbed correctly. All right guys, so after entirely too long of drilling these holes and trying to get this plate fit in there right, I got her in there and it looks pretty good. I'm gonna put the fuel pump in. I already got my sock attached. I got my little tube shortened here. You had to shorten this tube here to get it the right height for the tank. So I got that shortened and this is ready to go in. I got the bolts and the gasket here, so I'm gonna install this thing and then we'll go set the fuel cell in the car. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that thing started going down on me real fast. I had that all loosened up and it just completely fell and spilt gas all over right here. You can kind of see that it's drying right there, but I squeegeed it out real quick. It was pretty funny. I kind of wish I would have got it on camera, but hey, it's out. So now I can start cutting the little section out right here and I'll be good to go. All right guys, got my fuel cell mounted in there. Looks good, it's all bolted in. Got my nice little trim piece for that small section I was telling you guys I had to cut out for the fuel cell. I got my fuel lines started to be made. I've got them running underneath the car, but these ends for the steel braided lines really suck to put on. I probably put like 1,000 holes in my hand from it, but those are good. All I gotta do, I got my fittings already for them. I got the lines running underneath the car and they're coming up to the firewall here. I got a 10 AN feed line and 8 AN return, but I got these 90s. I'm gonna put these 90s here on the firewall to make it look nice and clean. And it's gonna go back over to the back side of the intake where the fuel rails are right here. And then all I gotta do after that is get my regulator mounted, which I'm a dummy and ordered the wrong regulator mount from Motion Raceworks. So I have to order the right one, and then that will be mounted just like that. And then those fittings are gonna go over to the fuel rails right here, and I just run my return back to the firewall, and then that'll be done. I do have to order the other steam kit for Motion Raceworks. It looks a lot nicer than the stock one, but I was hoping to use that one. It just didn't work out because that mount, you can see it hits right there. Not a big deal, so I'll get that ordered. And then all I gotta do is finish these 2 fittings and then it's gonna go into this T-fitting right here, and then that will be the 10AN feed line right there, and then that will be done. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I'll show you guys the finished product, and then hopefully the fuel system will finally be done. All right, guys, I got the fuel feed all done. My 90s are all done, and the fuel feed going into the back side of the fuel rails are all looking good, nice and tightened down. I have still have to make my return line here, but I got my 90s. It's just gonna go like that, right underneath the fuel feed. And then there's gonna be another 90 that goes underneath the intake, just like that. And then it'll go up to my fuel regulator right under there, underneath the intake. I did order my coolant crossover kit and then the actual right fuel regulator mount today. So that'll be in a couple days. I'll finish that up. I got my radiator mounted. It is sitting in there pretty good. I'm gonna have to actually take it back off and space it out a little bit because I'm gonna put my fans on the other side of the core support here. So then it's nice and compact and clean. And then my intercooler is gonna go right there, which actually that's gonna work out pretty good. I don't know how good it'll work out, but with the fans in between the radiator and on the other side of the intercooler, I really think it's gonna help cool both of them down at the same time or heat both of them up. I don't really know, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. Hopefully it works out. This build is taking much longer than I expected, and the little things are really adding up. So that's why I haven't posted a video in a couple weeks. I know it sucks, but I want to keep you guys updated. This is where I'm at. I made a lot of progress. I'm just having troubles getting somebody to fab up my wastegates. I did get the pipe. Oh, here it is. So I ordered this pipe, and I think is what I'm gonna do is come off the exhaust like this for the wastegates, and then the wastegate will sit right about where my thumb's at. So that'll work out pretty good. I just gotta find somebody to do the TIG welding for me because I am not capable of that. I've never TIG welded before. So I'm having a little bit of troubles with that, but once I get that done, this thing will start going a lot smoother, I hope. But I still got a lot of work ahead of me to do, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. Once I get some more parts in, I'll be able to video some more stuff and be more productive. But that is gonna be it for this week's video. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for you guys that are subscribing. So come back hopefully next week and see what I tear up. I'll see you later, guys.